Dear community and neighbors, the purpose of this is to inform and raise awareness that there is a large well-organized network of criminals in the community who stalk and harass innocent law-abiding and defenseless individuals, typically for years, with the goal of destroying their lives. What is organized group gang stalking? Organized stalking is a method of covert harassment perpetrated by a large group of people against a single individual. The lengthy process begins when the group selects a target. Once the selection is made, an expert campaign of character assassination begins with the intention of irreparably destroying the individual's reputation, career, family, and community standing. Simultaneously, he or she is placed under illegal surveillance, and his or her private information gained from the illegal electronic monitoring is distributed. Isolating the target renders him or her defenseless and incomeless. Then groups of paid and unpaid stalkers begin a 24/7 harassment operation. The paid stalkers are full and part-time. They infiltrate every aspect of the target's life. The unpaid stalkers are usually neighbors and even family members who have been recruited via a successful smear campaign. They naively think they are doing a good deed. Harassment techniques are infinite. A common one is to sensitize the target to ordinary discordant sounds like coughing and car alarms, and then harass him with those sounds continuously and indefinitely. Who are the targeted individuals? TIs. The targets are ordinary people who for the most part don't know why they were selected. Once the target has been selected, the group will commit significant resources to destroying the target. The harassment can go on for decades. Who are these groups? They are not foreign terrorists or anti-government extremists. The network can consist of your next-door neighbor to any member of society, people that you would never ever suspect of harboring criminal intent. They are so well integrated and influential in the community that my best guess is that they are a perverted form of a community watch group policing with subterfuge and poisonous hate. They are slowly and surreptitiously destroying the moral, social, economic, and political fabric of this state and reconfiguring it in accordance with their criminal behavior. Whoever the organizers are, they are well-financed, highly sophisticated, unscrupulous, deceptive, relentless, and merciless. They have cult and pack-like attributes. They are also tech-savvy and capable of invading every inch of your privacy and destroying every minute of your day. Their specialty, however, is to inflict emotional harm by using subtle yet effective psychological torture techniques with sadistic accuracy. Their intention is to murder their target without getting their hands dirty. It's the perfect hate crime. Frank Raffaele, current resident of Pine Brook, New Jersey and formerly of Verona, New Jersey, where it started. The highly illegal surveillance component of organized stalking. The first component allows those who operate the stalking apparatus to accumulate information about the selected targets, as listed in the databases associated with the apparatus. The information is analyzed and scanned for any elements that may potentially be useful within the framework of the personal destruction campaigns waged by the operators of the apparatus. The effect of the surveillance is multiplied by many times via the use of GPS tracking units secreted onto the target's primary means of transportation. These tracking units prove invaluable to the operators of the apparatus in terms of providing for the accurate direction of harassment activities. Centralized database store. The information, often manipulated, modified, and or appended with outright fabrication, is subsequently cataloged within the system's databases through the surveillance. A vast quantity of detail is accumulated about each individual target, especially as it concerns the patterns of the selected target's daily life and activities. This prodigious quantity of information lends itself to making the additional fabrications associated with the individual readily believable by consumers of the information, simply because so much else seems to be known. Dispatch component. This is the component that provides for the operators most of the damage inflicted upon selected targets, primarily using telecommunications devices, cell phones, and automobile navigation units. The conspiracy to harass is automated by computerized linkages between the databases described above and the cell phone and auto nav unit network. The communications linkages are made automatically and directed to those program members who carry harassment network nodes, cell, nav units, etc., but only to those who are proximate to the selected target. The computerized communications linkages are made automatically to the proximate program members, those closest to the target, thanks to the GPS tracking of the target, as described in the surveillance component. This automatic direction of communications to specific telecommunications nodes/devices facilitates the swarming of targets, as has been often described by same and contemporary accounts of gang stalking. Information which has been tailored to the situation of the targeted individual and has been designed to provide for the ongoing emotional, financial, and psychological destruction of select targets is automatically dispensed from the database system in the form of a street theater or harassment script. Analysis. The operators of the apparatus use a deflection mechanism to diffuse the responsibility for slander committed by node carriers, simply by employing a large group mob of antagonists to effect a death of 1,000 small cuts scenario. Many harassment laws are based upon the repeated harassments of a single individual. By using a conspiracy of many, the coordinators hope to diffuse individual responsibility for actions. Legal remedy. The purveyors of this injustice do indeed effect a dilution of responsibility for individual node carriers. However, they do not deflect responsibility from themselves. Since the major enabler for all stalking network activities is the telecommunications system, the perpetrators are theoretically, possibly exposed to discovery by the natural routing and traffic logging features of the communications channels that they are using. Several on-the-books laws may be applicable in the arraignment of these criminal lawbreakers, as follows. USC U.S. Criminal Code 47223A1C, repeatedly initiating communications with a communications device solely to harass an individual or individuals. Typical sentence in recent cases: 3 years incarceration. USC U.S. Criminal Code 1825-11, Interception of Electronics Communications, Application Surveillance. USC U.S. Criminal Code 1825-11-1C, Disclosure of Intercepted Communications, Application Surveillance, Database Storage, Dispatch Ops. USC U.S. Criminal Code 1810-38-5A1, Redirection of Website, Application General Harassment Defamation Activities. The aforementioned codes are general, but are specific circumstances amplified by a conspiracy clause. The resultant case law is known as conspiracy to harass using a telecommunications device. See search engine results under those terms. The operators of the stalking apparatus are initiating communications to communications devices for the sole purpose of engaging in the harassment of individuals. They are doing this on a vast scale, to many unfortunate victims, due to the large scale of their operations, as opposed to the acts of the individual node carriers. The operators of the stalking apparatus surveillance, database and dispatch have neither immunized themselves to prosecutions, nor have they deflected responsibility for their actions. In our pursuit of justice, communications is key. The communications system that they use that is the underlying enabler for most of their nefarious activities. Fortunately for us, it is, with proper constitutionally valid investigation, traceable. Gang stalking is a catchphrase name, describing what has become a part of traditional and new organized crime that is networking through the United States and some other countries. Organized crime groups and criminal elements from all walks of life use or hire for pay criminal organized gang stalking crews to attack targets to cover up financial or other crimes. These criminals contract with the covert organized gang stalking attack crews to silence any potential witness or troublemaker, whether real or imagined, that could possibly affect their lives. Contract attack squad to discredit and silence using their criminal gaslighting methods. These organized criminal crews attack victims' friends, family, neighbors and many people in community. There is always a reason someone is targeted and most will know why and who started it, but apparently, some victims never know what happened to them, why it is happening or who triggered the overwhelming attack. This is probably because the trigger event was irrelevant and meant nothing to the victim, but was perceived as possibly damaging by the criminals involved. The victim could have upset somebody and now that person simply wants revenge. A very lucrative enterprise. This is a very lucrative criminal enterprise for many of the perpetrators. People considered important to the success of a hit are offered large bribes to become a perp and start working the victim. Advanced communications such as the internet, cell phones and voice-over internet protocol have accelerated the expansion and networking of these organized criminal groups. Their day-to-day stalking and harassment activities depend on these same technologies plus highly illegal GPS and other high-tech devices, electronic spy and harassment equipment, and the use of satellites, what is known as remote neural monitoring. These criminal stalking and harassment groups go to extreme lengths to cover every aspect of their highly illegal covert operations. They try to have a plausible explanation for everything. The crimes they commit are well-planned and easy to do but easily deniable.